Okay, I'm live over here. Let me see if I can tell the other people watching to go to the new one. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I always think I've got it figured out, but I guess not. So how's everybody doing? Are we staying warm? It is sweater weather here in Indiana. Um, it's been cold here in Indiana. We've had cold wind chill factors because it's windy out. And my house has been cold. I've been shivering all week. And today the winds have died down. My home actually feels warm today, and I'm thankful for that. Are you guys all cold too, or how's your week going with the weather? Yeah, Bobby. I yeah, no cold. Yeah, I'm sure Virginia doesn't get as cold as here in northern Indiana, but I was looking at the NOAA weather service, and you can look at the data every day. And man, this week we're like between 15 and 22 degrees below normal. So it's been cold, and I'm not looking forward to seeing my gas bill. Marguerite, she's doing good. I'm gonna adjust my light here real quick. It's awfully bright. Ah, there we go. Did you get much snow, Marguerite? I think we officially got about 9 inches here in Indiana over Saturday and Sunday. I didn't go out and measure. I measured, I think Sunday afternoon it was like at 6 inches. And then I never went out after that. Lots of snow. I've been on Facebook for quite a while, and my daughter, oh, I don't have it out here. I must have put it away. She had a Snoopy ruler. Hi, AJ, how are you? I finally went live. But my daughter had a Snoopy ruler from elementary school, and he's now my official snow rulers. He went out twice on Sunday. So, AJ, did you get any snow? Bobby didn't get much last weekend, but yeah, there's what are they calling it? A cyclone bomb or some weird thing? I never heard of the new no before. AJ, did you get any snow? I think he's being sarcastic here. I know our school systems, the kids finally went back today. We were having wind chills of 15 to 20 below, so the kids got a few extra days off. And I think all the moms were cheering this morning when they went back to school. Yes, he's been making snowmen. He's got the little icon there. But yesterday, yeah, yesterday I hadn't left the house in a week, so I had a dentist appointment yesterday, and I let my car run about 5 minutes before I took off because it had sat in the cold, cold garage for a week. Yeah, she ran just fine. And then this morning we had Bible study this morning, but um a lot of people weren't there. I guess some of the schools still had delays, and a couple of the moms in our group, it was the first first day that they had to get the kids up and out to school, so I guess it was a hectic morning, so they didn't make it this morning. But yeah, I'm ready for this cold weather to be over with. I'm going to grab my notebook here in case we get any new people, and I can write down their names. So this week I was so bored, I started doing my taxes. Is that boring or what? Have any of you done your tax or started doing your taxes yet? Hi, Alexandra. I don't think we've met before. How are you tonight? And AJ started his. Well, last year for 2025, it was the first year I didn't work outside the home. I didn't work at all. In 2024, I worked part of the year. I had a part-time job and I quit that job halfway through the year. So, Alexandria, it's good to meet you. So, what part of the country do you live in? You don't have to get too specific, just what state you live in. And we're glad you stopped by. I live in northern Indiana, and we're kind of comparing notes with all this with the storm last weekend. Bobby's collecting information for her taxes. Yeah, mine was pretty simple. In fact, I didn't pay any federal income tax, so I don't owe anybody anything. And Alexandra's from Missouri, the show me state. Did you get bad weather last weekend? We just got snow here in Indiana. But my taxes, I need to figure out if I need to file or not because I don't owe anybody anything. Kathy Mills, how are you? She got ice for her area. Oh wow, the sun pretty much cleared it up the next day by noon. Hi TP, how are you tonight? I saw your message the other day and I thought I hadn't seen you in a while, so I'm glad you're here. Alexandria, they got about 8 inches, but the city's bad at clearing roads. Yeah, that's the trouble if you don't get a lot of snow. Um, it takes a while for the city to clean everything up. And I know I watch some homesteading channels. They live in North Carolina. They talk about whenever there's a storm event, they don't really have the snow plows. And I see somebody, oh, hi Cheryl, how are you tonight? And Cheryl's in southern Florida. Yeah, isn't this weather crazy? Oh gosh, Margaret, you went to Florida and it got down to freezing and didn't it? I can't talk. Didn't have your coat with you. That's not good. I've only been to Florida once when it was really hot, and I decided I'll stay in Indiana. So, are you guys AJ, he's uh, I wish we could all like what was the old show? Um where they could beam me up, Scotty. I can't think of the TV show. So we'll all go to Cheryl's house. And hi, Catherine. How are you tonight? We got quite a crowd today. AJ's counting down the days to go to Florida. Do you go every year, AJ, or is this just a one-time thing? Yeah, who's counting? We're kind of talking about the weather, Catherine. So some of us had a lot of snow, some not so much. Star Trek. Yeah, I knew somebody would would remember what it was. Beam me up, Scotty. Oh, okay. So your parents live in Florida. Well, that's nice. You can go see them. And Rhonda, you're down in Texas, so you didn't get 8 inches of snow, I hope. Did you get any of the bad weather, Rhonda? Um, I like to watch Ryan Hall, y'all, and he was showing, the southern states could have gotten a lot of ice storms. And then you don't hear a whole lot after it's done and over with. But I do feel bad for people that lost power. That would be hard. So Rhonda got 1 inch of sleet and 4 inches of snow. Oh, it melted on your street. Um, I'm fortunate. I didn't think about it when I bought my home, but I live a block away from an elementary school. It's in the middle of a housing addition, and they always plow the streets out. So if I can get to, I'm like the third house down on my street. If I can get past two more houses and turn right, I'm good. So I'm fortunate that way. And I'm losing, everybody's talking. I'm losing track of everybody. So, oh, Catherine got 7 inches of snow. So hopefully, if you're in Arkansas, hopefully it'll melt pretty soon. Yeah, I'm going bonkers and I'm old. I I have a bird feeder and I put um bird food in Tuesday, I think. And then I threw some on, I shoveled my patio and then I threw some bird seed on the patio because I felt bad for the birds. And then it snowed again. Yeah, this is kind of like Buzz retirement garage. Rhonda's been home for a week. Yesterday I had a dentist appointment. I'm keeping the dentist gainfully employed. I'm hoping I'm done for now. Oh, thanks, Marguerite, for reminding people to click the thumbs up. Catherine, I'm like you. I'm a homebody, but if somebody tells me I have to stay home, when somebody says you can't do it, I want to do it. So, like I said earlier, I was so bored. I started doing my taxes, and I've been doing just some cleaning up. As I was doing getting my paperwork ready for my taxes, I went through my pile of stuff. I've got tax returns from 2000 to 2012, and I need to throw them all out. They're old. So that's a project maybe for tomorrow. When I took an accounting class way back in the day, our teacher said always keep the first page of your 1040 forever and ever. AJ, yes, I do have a shredder. Oh, Marguerite, I was thinking about you today. I watched a video on YouTube about the Singer sewing machine company, and I was thinking about you with your sewing machine. So yours is coming tomorrow. It's quite the story, the singer company and the guy. He wasn't he he had 24 children and 3 wives. He was a busy guy. And then they kind of talked the singer company, the sewing machine company, um oh, during World War One and World War Two, they converted their factory to build matil- military stuff. So that was kind of interesting to hear about that. And Marguerite, I learn a lot on YouTube too, watching all kinds of videos. Oh, Marguerite, you got your work cut out for you. So I don't sew a whole lot. I go in spurts. Um, I can't give you much advice. Have a good pair of scissors and keep those pins nearby. I always pin up stuff really well, so when you start sewing, you can go at it. Oh, they're on order too. I can use a sewing machine. Marguerite, I bought clips too. My church does they're called pillowcase dresses. You can make dresses for little girls out of a pillowcase or you can buy material. And I did it for a while and I just don't have the patience for it. If it's not perfect, I rip it out and start over and I gave up after a while. So, um yeah, I can sew. I just don't like it. Oh, TP, the purpose was, and it doesn't matter now that I'm retired, but the purpose is to keep track of all your 1040 so whenever you do retire, you can double check to make sure that Social Security has the correct income that you made in that current year or the year of the that you filed your taxes. So that's why you keep them. And Cheryl, I agree. Um, um, you hate to get political, but when you see all the lines in the sky, you know something's going on. Yeah, Marguerite, I tend to collect paper, I hate to say. But I found old tax returns. I thought, "Oh my gosh, I haven't gotten rid of those." But yeah, it's good to keep the last 7 years. And I guess we just I pray a lot. Not to be funny, but um I pray for the wisdom of our country to do the right things for us, and it sure seems like things are going down the wrong path. And back to taxes, I do mine online, so I've been using OLT. So TP Ward, do you go by TP? Are you Timothy? I'm trying to remember now. Or do you want to go by TP? You do go by Timothy. Okay. So, I my taxes have always been pretty simple. Marguerite, I hope things will be okay too. And Catherine, I'm an accountant, a retired accountant, so I do my taxes most years. There's been 2 or 3 times if I have a really unusual tax event, I'll take them in to have them done, but Um, it's if you're not sure about your taxes, have them done. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I worked for H&R Block for 2 years. I think I mentioned this last week, back in 2002 and 4, and 2004 and 2005. And I decided I don't like working with the public. So, but I learned a lot those 2 years. And if you work for H&R Block, the first year you do them, they give you the easy tax returns. And I don't know if they still do that now or not, but the more years you're there, they give you more clients and you have repeat clients every year. But I was kind of disappointed, the over 65s, the big beautiful bill. Um, Trump was saying that if you're retired, they raised the standard deduction by $6,000 so you pay less taxes. Well, my most of my income is Social Security, so I paid 0 taxes. I was hoping to get I was hoping to get a refund even though I didn't pay any taxes, but that didn't happen. And the big beautiful bill, that there is a lot of good stuff in there. And I think being retired, from what I've read, I think some of the baseline for income, they haven't raised it in years and years and years, so that needs to be adjusted. And there's enough of us boomers out here now that they need to cater to us a little bit. AJ, they do if you ask them to. I haven't. If you work and collect Social Security, or you have a large, $2 million in retirement funds, when you pull the money out, you'll have to pay taxes. So you kind of have to watch, if you have investments, how much to take out and how it'll affect your Social Security. And if you have that kind of a problem, I would go to a tax accountant and have them figure that out for you. Well, Catherine, I'm glad you stopped by, and I hope dinner's good. Mama Bear, glad to see you. We're doing well. Talked a little bit about the weather, and now we're talking a little bit about taxes and retirement. And I don't have a whole lot to talk about this week. I did have one minor problem. It was with my family doctor, and I'm kind of mad at her. I'm on thyroid medicine, and I got my annual blood work done last November, and my thyroid needed adjusting. So she sent me out a new prescription in November. Well, then I got my pharmacist always texts me, "You have a prescription to pick up." Excuse me. And here they sent me my old prescription, and my dosage had changed. So I don't normally pay attention to my prescriptions except I picked it up from the pharmacy and I thought, I still have lots left. And I looked at the dosage and here it was my old dosage and I was pretty mad. I texted, you can message, it's called My Patient Portal. So I sent them a long message and said, here's my scenario. And I said, in fact, I had talked to the pharmacist first. He was confused why I got the prescription too. And when I emailed on the My Patient portal, I said, I think you accidentally sent out my old prescription and you shouldn't have. And I said, I want to know why this happened. So they did respond. I was kind of surprised. She said, we don't know why we sent it out, but we took it off your records. So we need to be aware of everything. If you guys take multiple prescriptions, when you pick them up, make sure they're the correct, I can't talk, correct prescription for you. We are our own advocate. So that's my whining for the week. I brought a glass of water. Let me take a quick drink. AJ, my January budget's a disaster. And Timothy, he's our spreadsheet guy. But I've had a lot of dental work done, so I've spent it was $400 in December and another $300 in January on the dentist. And so that kind of put a hole in my budget. But I knew they were coming, so I kind of planned for that. And then AJ, I'm sorry to hear you went to the dentist too. And I'm concerned about, we've had such cold weather here in Indiana that I'm kind of scared, not scared, but I'm concerned what my gas bill's going to be. And I should get that in the next week or so. Oh, yeah, Bobby, your husband was retiring. So, how's he liking retirement so far? He'll think he's on vacation for a while. I keep a spreadsheet for my finances. And I started a Financial Friday. So I've been kind of going a little deeper into budgeting, and I think people are liking what I'm doing. So tomorrow's topic is when is it an emergency for an emergency fund? And I decided that the unusually cold weather is an emergency. And Kathy Mills says, oh my gosh, I'm reading what Kathy wrote, and she's waiting to go on Medicare, and her medication was $394, but she paid $28. And yeah, in the past, my pharmacists have always been really good about. One time, my doctor put me on a new prescription, and when I went to pick it up, he told me, he said, I can call your doctor and get a generic. And it was way cheaper. And I thanked him. And, I got that approved from my doctor. So, yeah, our pharmacist is a good friend to have. I take 3 prescriptions, and I don't pay any on any of them. I'm on the Medicare Plan B, I think. I have Aetna Medicaid. I don't know why I can't talk today. And I take cheap medicine, so I guess that's good. Part D, I think that's what it is. And she showed me there's so many plans out there. That's another thing you need to do every year is find yourself a a good insurance agent that can run through all the different plans and explain them to you. And if you're healthy, um, that's a blessing. The joys of getting old, right? When I shoveled this week, talk about getting old. I take my cell phone out, put it in my coat pocket now, just in case I slip and fall. I'm kind of being like a child in reverse. I'm going back to my childhood days. I gotta make sure I can call somebody. But that's a wise thing to do. And actually, I slipped on the ice. That'd be 6 years ago, and I broke my left elbow. And I'm left-handed. That was an adventure. In fact, this is my left hand, and I thought I broke my finger. That's why I went to the doctor. It's opposite. Anyways, they told me my finger wasn't broken, but I can't straighten it out anymore. But yeah, and then so I went in, and I said, well, I think I broke my finger, so I went, and then they started asking me questions, and they said, well, let's X-ray your arm, and I was shocked that I had broken. It was just below the elbow, and I just thought I was hurting because my pinky finger hurt. So I'm glad I got that checked out. But that was quite the adventure, breaking, your dominant hand. It was yeah, it was hard. I tried, this is kind of funny. It was hard brushing my teeth right-handed, and I ended up using a lot of mouthwash. Because I just couldn't get my right hand to brush my teeth. So, but I survived, and I was fortunate. Um, in fact, I think, well, hi, Jeanette. How are you? Glad you stopped by. We were joking earlier about going to Florida, but I bet you don't have any snow in California. So what whereabouts? Well, I won't ask. California's a big state. So do you live north, middle, or south? Who had to have a tooth pulled? Jeanette's in the mountains. I have a sister-in-law, well, an ex-sister-in-law. She lives in Visalia. I Wherever she lives, it's down in the valley. She said they get a lot of fog because they're down in the valley. Well, hi Mary, how are you today? Jeanette gets snow in the mountains. So Mary, did you get much snow last weekend? You were walking. That's what I need to do. Speaking of walking, and I don't know, I don't remember the. Okay, Jeanette, you're next to Visalia. So I guess that's a pretty part of the country. I was watching a video about a guy that walks a lot, and I don't remember his name. I He pops up every once in a while on my videos, and he was talking about walking around your house. He gave some interesting things to talk about. When I woke up, Mary, I'm kind of lost. You said when you woke up, it was there. I didn't think it would happen. What am I missing? Oops. Oh, okay. Oh, the snow. I gotcha. TP Howard, did you see the monks that are walking across country? No, I haven't heard that. Is that a YouTube video or is it something current? I was watching, let me see, where's my cell phone? I was watching something the other day. Um, they went to several monasteries in England and England and Ireland. And it was so cool. It was, I think it's for Christmas of 2025. And they went to these monasteries and the monks or the nuns, they had businesses at their monasteries and it was really interesting to watch. Let me see if I can get on YouTube here. I thought of you, Marguerite. Let's see. Let's go to me. I watch way too many YouTube things. View all. Oh, those are mine. Well, I don't want to waste time scrolling my cell phone while I'm talking. That's rude. If I see it, I'll make a note of it. Yeah, Mary, there was one that did winemaking and then they had nuns. They were making chocolates and soaps. And what was the other one? I don't remember. Maybe some of them had different crafts. Oh, and the one monastery, they made books from hand. They'd sew all the seams in the books. That was pretty cool. Kathy, I'm going to have to look into that. The monks were in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they're walking to DC and they're walking for peace. Oh my goodness. Boy, do we need peace right now. Are they like taking donations? Man, that would be something I wouldn't mind contributing to. I think that is so cool. But the monasteries where the nuns lived, they had their gardens and everything. I thought, oh man, to me, that would be heaven on earth to garden. I mean, they had floral gardens, they had vegetable gardens. I mean, to be able to pray and have a garden, I think that would be just heaven on earth. So Timothy and Kathy know about the monks walking across America. That is just too cool. Are they Catholic monks or are they I know there's um different faiths, different religions that have monks. There's speaking of monks, I'm gonna have to make up a list. There's a I think he's a priest. He lives in northern Italy. I don't know if he's a priest or a monk. He's Catholic and he's got this stone house on a mountain in Italy. Okay, they're Tibetan monks living in the United States. But this Catholic monk, he does he does beautiful photography. I watch him kind of for the photography too. But then he talks about he gets into the theology of the Bible real deep, and I enjoy listening to what he has to say. Mary said, oh, Kathy says they're Buddhist monks. And Timothy says there's Tibetan, I'm saying that wrong, monks living in the United States. Oh, well, hi, Rick. How are you tonight? And the monks will be walking through your community. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. You'll have to keep us posted. And I know you have a channel, so will you post anything on your channel? In leisure. Oh, Mary said she worked at one place. She was going to. Oh, yeah, I'm going to write that down. Okay, thanks, Rix. I know I've watched you a few times. Oh, Kathy said, Alexa says they're Buddhist monks. I wonder if they're going barefoot. Isn't that awful? They have more faith than we do, I think. Are the Buddhist monks the one that wears the orange, I hate to say outfits. Their garb is orange. Oh, speaking of that, um, I go to a Bible study on Thursdays, and somehow we got talking about our kindergarten days. And when I was young, my elementary school was a block away from a Catholic church, and there was a Catholic school there. So the Catholic school didn't have kindergarten, so all the kindergartners came to public school, and I didn't quite understand why half my class was going over to the Catholic school. And I was kind of disappointed that I was going to the public school. And then, of course, this is back in 1962, and all the nuns, their habits. I mean, they were, pretty much their heads were covered, and I used to think they were people from Jesus days, and I was just in awe that you could see these nuns walking around the church and stuff. So it was kind of a happy memory I had when I was young. Well, Marguerite, I'm glad you stopped by, and you'll have to keep us posted about your sewing adventures, because you're getting your sewing machine next tomorrow. So if you're not here next week, we'll know you're sewing away. Take care, Marguerite. We have a pretty big group here tonight. Mary went to Catholic school, but not all 12 years. And my son's children, they go to a Lutheran school. And Timothy says the monks started out barefoot, but people gave them shoes when they got into the cold weather. And I'm sure that they don't have provisions, and they just have the faith that God will provide, or their God will provide. It's kind of like you hear people walking the Appalachian Trail, and they just have their backpack with them. But when Jesus, when his disciples went around the area, that they didn't take anything with them, so they knew God would provide. Okay, they wear an orange colored outfit. Oh, poor dog had leg surgery. I would want a dog for protection. So, and I think too, if people see someone walking with their pet, that they're more likely to smile and say hi. Somehow, people having pets, we feel safer. I didn't say that quite right, but we when someone has a pet, that we assume they're a good person, I guess. Well, I'm gonna have to look this monk scenario up. This is really interesting. I wonder if they're going up to Washington D.C. I wonder if they're gonna go see President Trump. Wouldn't that be cool? They probably don't want that much attention, but that would be kind of cool to be able to tell the president that they're walking for peace. I think someone said they started in Texas. Did you say that, Timothy? Oh, Kathy Mills said they started in Fort Worth, Texas, and they're going to DC. That is some good news we could use, right? Let's turn off all the junk and focus on the good stuff. So tomorrow I'm going to do a financial Friday, and I usually do a grocery haul every week, but I haven't grocery shopped this week. And actually, I found well, I have a little pantry I keep stuff in, and I found some dried milk. Milk. Is that what you call powdered milk? So the milk was they said Best Buy, I think it was 2023 sometime. And I went online. They said it's good for several years after the Best Buy date. So I opened up a packet and I have milk. Are there any cookies left? No. I bought these cookies on sale and I did really well. I cut them in half and I ate half a cookie a day. So they are gone. They were very good. Yes, I save money. Tomorrow, I'm not sure when I'm going to go grocery shopping again. Well, I found the powdered milk and I mostly have it in my tea and it tasted okay. So, I don't know when I'll go to the store again. I bought 2 dozen eggs last week and I bought a bunch of meat on sale 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'm good for that. I have lots of meat and I have veggies. Um, Mary has no restraint, and boy, do I get that. I know Timothy asked why I buy groceries with cash, and that's part of it is to budget. Yeah, Kathy. For budget purposes, wait until Sunday. So, well, I talked last week, and the first half of the month is when all my bills come due, and the second half of the week, I meant month, second half of the month, all I have is my cell phone and my internet. So second half of the month, it's easy peasy. But it's kind of fun. I don't share everything about my budget. I don't share exactly how much I make. And then I give to charity, and I think that's personal too, so I don't share that. But I do share, my utility bills, how much I spend on groceries, that type of stuff. So, and some people seem to like it, so I'll keep doing it. It's kind of interesting to see how other people budget their money. It gives me encouragement. I watch a few other channels. One channel I really like is Simple Food, Simple Life. Her name is Robin, and I watched her for years. And Robin, she would always cook, and you never saw her face. And finally, a few years ago, we got to see what Robin looked like, and she's a very pretty lady. She's, I think, 74, 75. Yeah, she's blonde, and then she does a Friday confab, and oh my gosh, the stories she comes up with. So earlier in the week, she talks about her grocery spending, and then on Friday, she talks about whatever, and she does these. Yeah, she's in Iowa, and right now she's doing a $25 a week grocery challenge, and she goes to Aldi, and there's a couple other local stores that I'm not familiar with, but she knows how to find a bargain. Is there a book or two I'm wanting to buy but waiting for a sale, or just a good budget month? Um, I have so many books now. I look for sales. Um, I probably have enough Bibles to last me the rest of my days. And I'll look for sales like christianbooks.com. And there's a used bookstore here in my town, and I'll go in there and look for stuff. But yeah, the sad thing about books is, like, I have a Barnes and Noble in my town, and the Bible selection is pretty small. The mysteries, and there's bookshelf after bookshelf of those, but you can't just go to a bookstore anymore and buy um a Bible or Christian books. Rick says if anyone's interested. Oh, well, thanks for telling us that. Walker with Sam. He's walking across the U.S. for charity. Oh, well, thanks for telling us that. Yeah, Kathy, Robin does. She has quite the pantry stocked up, and I think she's got a freezer too. And actually, she was talking one time, and she worked for a chef for a while. I mean, she really does know how to cook, and she has some great ideas. Oh, Rick's retirement. You work at Books a Million. I kind of remember you talking about that, didn't you? Wasn't there two Books a Million stores, and you found a second one open, and now you work at that one because it's closer? Yeah, I have quite a few Bibles. I don't really need any more. But I've got kind of a nice library of them. I've got most of I've got King James, ESV, NIV, um, NLT, and then I've got a couple study Bibles. So I've pretty much got everything hard copy that a person would want. And so I don't really need any more. And Rick says, yes, that's his story, and he's sticking to it. We used to have Books a Million quite a while ago, and now it's Planet Fitness Center. Unfortunately, Amazon has overtaken a lot of bookstores, and that's kind of sad. Now, last summer, I went to I'm about an hour and a half away from Shipshewana, Indiana, and there's a couple nice Christian bookstores in there, and that's where I would probably drop some money. Because the one Christian bookstore, I mean, they've got all the popular Bible plans and everything. And it's kind of nice just to be able to pick up a book and see if you like it or not. So Rick's retirement journey. I haven't watched you in a while. I'm going to have to look at your channel again. So what do you talk about on your channel, Rick? Might as well plug your channel here for a second. And if anybody else has a channel, let us know what your channel is. And Kathy, well, thanks for stopping by, and let's hope and pray for warmer weather, right? And I'll try to post there's a community tab or something that some of the videos I've been watching lately I kind of like. Okay. Rick took a month. He took a month off and he has more content to follow. I've been watching quite a few retirement channels here lately. And Bobby says she watches a lady that lives in Alaska and she gets all her Bibles from thrift stores. That's a good idea. I have stumbled onto there's a lady that lives in Australia. I don't remember her name, but she always says she has 11 children and she's writing out the Bible by hand and she's enjoying that journey. So I'm going, I don't know how old her children are. I've only seen her a couple, 3 times. And I just think that's kind of interesting that she's writing out the Bible. I have terrible handwriting. But you know, when you sit down and write anything, it engages your brain, so it's good to write. Well, I usually chat on here for an hour, and we can log off, or if you guys want, we can keep talking for a while. See who else is on here. We've got 9 people right now. I don't know if everybody has said hi or not. And Mary, yes, she remembers things better when she writes the information. And I have too much time on my hands. I keep reading stuff and I keep reading all these videos and posts, but they say writing's supposed to help ward off dementia and that kind of stuff. So I do find I enjoy journaling. Yeah, like when she was in school. I still write out a grocery list, and I don't normally take it to the store, but I just taking the time to write down what I need that week. It helps me remember. And Rick journals in cursive. You must be old school. I do a little bit of both. I do cursive and write by I I do cursive and print. And my thing is I'm left-handed, so when you write over what you just wrote. Your hand rests where you just wrote. So I use a mechanical pencil a lot. And then yeah, Rick, I had to throw that in there. And I've been testing different pens I have a pen problem too, but I'm enjoying these Pilot G pens. Well, I got some money. My birthday's in November, and my birthday for Christmas. My mom's still alive, so she'll send me a little check. So I've been buying these colored pens, and I've been enjoying writing with that. Depends on my mood for the day. So, Rick, what part of the country do you live in? I don't remember. Oh, that sounds like a good one to watch. Kathy says, turn off the TV and do this instead. Okay, Rick lives in Stanford, Virginia. So did you get snow recently? Oh, wow. They were looking for people who could read cursive to translate Civil War soldiers' letters. Rick's still digging out. My mom is English, and if you're online, Mom, hi, Mom. Sometimes she watches incognito. Um, her cursive handwriting, um, it's hard to read. Her cursive is different than the American. I don't know what it is, but it is. And when my grandmother was alive, she would write letters back in the day, and man, I could pick out like one word a sentence. So evidently, their penmanship's a little bit different across the big pond. And I can't imagine, Mary. People were looking for people who could read cursive. I have trouble reading my own handwriting. Isn't that awful? That would be interesting. That would be interesting to read some of the old letters from 150 years ago. And Mary says she went out to see a letter and thought she couldn't read enough of it. And that kind of reminds me, one of those to do things I need to do. My dad's mom, she wrote out our family genealogy, and I've got it at my house, and so she wrote it out probably in the late 1970s, and it's starting to fade. I was thinking the other day, I was showing it to my sister, and I probably need to scan all those so it'll be preserved. But it's pretty cool that she hand wrote everything out. And my grandma, she enjoyed writing. When I was a kid, when I was little, she would always send postcards to us kids all the time. We just don't do that anymore. It is pretty cool. I've got some family history. Wow, Kathy, I think I'll have to ask my grandkids. Now, my son's children go to a Lutheran school, and their education's more like what I had when I was growing up. But I think my daughter's boys, I think they can read and write cursive. That was one of the dumbest things I heard was to do away with that. But he learned his name just for signing important things. That's terrible. And I think educators are finding out they're starting to do away with electronic stuff and returning back to books, and I think that's a wise thing. Our brains aren't wired for to read computers and junk. I really believe that. And when the Nook first came out, Barnes and Noble, Yeah, Barnes and Noble had the Nook. And I think not Apple. Amazon had the Fire tablet. And I got the Nook, and I'd rather read a book than read a Nook. AJ, I hadn't thought of that. A lot of kids have no idea how to read an actual clock and tell time. Well, I remember one of the grandkids, the old digital, they could read the numbers. But yeah, the old clock, everything's digital nowadays. Bobby, I love listening to audiobooks too. I'll turn them on while I'm doing housework. But that's a little bit different. Yeah, on the iPad or whatever, I guess I'm good for about 30 minutes and then and I'm done. And then I have trifocals, and um I don't like reading as much anymore. It's easier to read a book than it is to read off a tablet. And actually, I've got some cheap readers. I'll put them on. AJ, do they still have the Fire tablet? I think those were Kindles. I do get a lot of ebooks from the library, and so those are kind of nice to read. The ebooks, they just magically disappear after 3 weeks. I don't have to return them to the library. So what kind of books do you like to read, AJ? And Jeanette, she has a Kindle with lots of free books. Oh, Rick's Retirement. I've heard of that book. The goal for this year is to read 12 books. That's a good one, Rick. I just read a really good book. It's called A Knock at the Door by I forgot the guy's name. Rob somebody. Oh no. I've talked about it in the past. But A Knock at the Door, Rob went to school with this boy named Ronnie, and Ronnie was developmentally delayed, and and he was homeless. So he found Rob. It's a true story. He found Rob, and it was Christmas Eve. He had a frozen chicken and a sack of clothes. That's all he had. So him and his wife let him spend the night, and then he ended up living with them until he died, like 45 years later. I cried when that story ended. But A Knock at the Door. In fact, I was telling my daughter I read it as an ebook, and I've got it on my Amazon wish list. Um, I like it so well. I want to read the real book, the hard copy book. In fact, I sent an email to my minister and I said, "You need to read this book," because I thought it would be a good sermon. It was, it's a perfect story of someone taking someone who couldn't survive by himself, and he became a part of their family. It wasn't a cheesy book. It was very well written. Rob Parsons, yes. I just love that book. And I guess he's written quite a few books. So, but yeah, that is a great book to read. And I've heard that he's a Christian, and I guess he's on a lot of YouTube videos. I haven't watched any of them. Another person I like to watch is My Kentucky Home with Debbie. I think that's her name. And she's talked about Rob Parsons too. So she's another person I enjoy watching. We've got some good YouTube channels out there. I like most of the ones I watch. So I watch Simple Life, Simple Food, Simple Life, Simple Food. I think I'm saying that wrong. And was one lady rebounding with Cheryl. She has a channel, and there's another one I saw, another person. So if you have a channel, give a quick shout out. I know I said that a little bit ago. I'm looking up. Of course, Buzz's retirement garage. He's another great one to watch. We all love Buzz. Do you watch Buzz, Rick? And I like Dwayne. His channel something about living on moderate income, $500,000. I don't quite remember the title, but he lives on moderate retirement. I enjoy watching him. Yeah, Steve's retirement garage. His is good too. They're just, they're the kind of like the guy that lives around the corner or next door. Steve's retirement corner. And I can't think of any others I like to watch. Another one, if you guys like to travel, is called Through My Lens. And what is his name? Him and his dad have traveled all over together. He calls his dad Pops. And I forget the young man's name. But they a recent one was they traveled Route 66 and they went to Scotland recently. I enjoy their travel log. There's all kinds of cool stuff out there. Who needs politics, right? And I don't know, just kind of going off on a tangent here. So, um, yeah, Dwayne is retired 500K or something like that. Perfectly 60, I think. She's retired in Canada. Oh, is that another channel you like, Mary? I'm gonna have to write that down. Perfectly 60. Oh, gotta watch Jeopardy. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, Rick. I'm gonna have to go look at your channel here tomorrow. I'm glad you stopped by. What else? I think I'm gonna call it a night. I have kind of run out of things to talk about. So we usually meet and got a couple newer people here, but I always do a Let's Talk Thursday at 7 o'clock on Thursday evenings. So we've been doing that for a couple months now, and I try to come up with a silly topic to talk about, and we just kind of do an organic, whatever we want to talk about. So it's kind of fun. And I do appreciate everybody that stops by. I'll have to look up Leisure Perfectly 60, see what's out there. And oh, I like the Tangerine Door. Her name is Judith. I've been watching her. She built a small home It's bigger than a tiny home. And she's got the cutest dog. His name is Brecky. And he's something like a poodle thingy. Well, hi, Dana. No, the snowstorm wasn't too bad. Well, you have a safe trip driving. Leisure positively 60. And I think I know who she is. I think Buzz has talked about her. So I'm going to end the stream for tonight. And there was a couple videos I kind of talked about earlier. I'm going to look them up and maybe put it in a comments page. Because I like watching different things. I like human interest kind of stories that are positive. Oh, and then we talked earlier about the monks that are walking across part of the United States. I'm going to look them up too. So, okay, we've got homework. We're going to look at different videos. Maybe do our taxes. And yeah, our budgets. Well, take care, everybody. I do enjoy us talking to all together. And we'll see you soon. Bye.